We will be learning so much in this video. YouTube might take this down because it's too informative. So we have no knight to f6. We're going to be understanding the mindset that you need to have in your games to actually win more consistently. All right. Plus, I'm going to be giving you the formula. So here, all we're doing in the opening phases of the game is just getting our pieces out. Like if you can get some center control with a pawn, that would be good. So I'm going to even be putting a pawn in the center as well. So we need, again, some center control or minor pieces developed. And then we're going to be prioritizing our king safety. So we have now gotten a pawn in the center, our king safe, and we need to start getting our minor pieces developed. So against this, I like to put my pawn on c6, get my bishop out, and then plant my knight on d7. So this is how I'm going to be developing the pieces. So whenever I see a knight on c3, I like to counter it with like this pawn on c6 to stop like his pieces from getting forward. Goes h4. So I want you guys to look at this as an attempt from white to activate his rook. So to stop his rook from getting activated, I'm just going to like shut that down with pawn to h5. I could have also played pawn to h6 and then met h5 with g5. It's just a matter of preference. He now goes knight to e5, so he's clearly not planning to castle in this game. I'm going to now go knight to g7. So this is just to force that knight out of my half of the board. Now, normally I would use this knight. I'm just going to think about it a bit. So knight here, g4 looks scary. So let me just do this, which is not so scary. I was looking at knight d to here. I want to just like take it and then just proceed back with chess. Right here, white is a little bit aggressive. Let me put it this way. Now, we still have to like do the thing. So with this, a lot of persons get attacked in chess and then they forget everything I would have like said before about like the opening principles. Like all it takes is for their opponent to do this. Put a piece in their half of the board and then they just start panicking. What you simply do is just remove the piece from your half of the board and then proceed with, again, the principles of chess. So I'm just taking it, just removing it out of my half. The knight, gone, guys. Vanished. Kapoof. And then I'm proceeding. I'm looking either f5 or e6 for the sake of activity, or e6. Let's go for the activity, guys. f5. This is like a common idea with like f3 and g4, but nothing too serious. His queen is not really like participating in the attack. Remember what I keep telling you guys. Look at chess as active versus passive pieces. Now, it goes f3, being well seen. Like, it's clear that he's gonna like try to put his king on the queen side. So let's just prepare for that with this move pawn to b5. Just start launching the pawns up the board. Now, the reason why we're actually banking on the fact that his king will cast the queen side, it's gonna be a win-win scenario if he doesn't. So you castle for two reasons. You castle to get your king to safety and to activate your rooks, like connect them. So if he doesn't castle, his a rook is going to be completely out of the game. And if he does castle, we're going to have the pawn storm down the board and actually trying to break open some structures there for our pieces. So remember, I want my pawn play to complement my pieces. So in other words, if I start to get like open files over the queen side, things will look good for the black pieces. So let's see what my opponent is going to do. King f2 just like, if he wants to connect his rooks that badly, like, but king f2 just looks like super weird. What if he actually plays it? But still, queenside castles, a3. I'm just gonna like reinforce it with a5, so it actually does the queenside castles. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So if he didn't castle, his rook would have not been in the game, so he just gets it out of the way. masters are high-rated players as well. Look at piece activity. So now he's trying g4. This is how he's planning to get his pieces into the game. Let's go a5. This is for when I'm playing b4 that he doesn't have any forward moves. So he goes now g4. I take it. I mean, like, why wouldn't I? And then I have this intermezzo move. So let's go for it. Oops. Oh, I thought I mouse slipped. Yes. So in chess, when somebody attacks you, your first instinct in chess must never be to play chicken chess. We're not running up and down. We counterattack. So he attacks my bishop. Persons would know this as like danger levels, like you just attack something stronger. And now bishop takes is attacking that rook on each one. So let's just recapture. So we have our actives. In other words, the bishop being on f5 that I did in the starting phase of the game is proving like semi-decent now. And now I need my pieces to actually start doing work. So I have a rook on f8 passive. Let's just swing it into the game. Rook on a like decent file. My queen isn't doing anything. That's on d8. Let's just swing it into the game. That's all I want you guys to be practicing. Like any piece that is not doing work, you just start swinging the pieces in. So I'm like, all right, rook, get activated. Queen, get activated. And then I'm going to continue back with the pawn break. So I have my bishop again. Like, nice. Rook. Nice. This rook needs like some work. So I'm going to be using my pawn breaks to actually activate that piece. So it goes bishop to g4. And this is to actually put some protection on that piece. So now we're 100% going pawn to b4. This is aimed at putting my pawn on b3. This could be GG if he's not careful. So he goes h5. I am thinking of taking that. Like, if I don't take, he's going to push the pawn to h6, and then my rook on h8 would have been dead again. So that's how easily my decisions are to make in chess. Like, if it's activating my piece, I keep it. If it's gonna like keep my piece passive, I disregard it. Like, super simple. So, goes bishop takes f5, sorry, h5, keeping his own bishop pinned. I've never seen a weirder move in my life. So I have bishop f3, which is, again, just putting pressure and threatening just to take that. And it's also pinned to the rook. So, like, bishop f3 just looks crushing. Like, guys might have like thought of bishop to g6, but that's passive. Active. Plus this, I think he has like rook to h1. So bishop f3 could actually just be game. But when you see a good move in chess, practice to look for a better one. So I'm gonna push this here first. This is like super advanced, guys. Like in other words, if you guys are playing your games, just play bishop f3 and takes. If you guys are like intermediate players now, and you want like super crushing moves, then this is it. I'm gonna be sacking some pieces if I have to, but I'm threatening to just queen my pawn right now. Now, what happens in chess, guys, is basically this. You learn the fundamentals and then you learn to improve on it. So in other words, if you practice bad chess, you're just gonna be getting better at playing bad chess. You practice the good stuffs, things kind of start to look good in your favor. Now, the inclusion of pawn going to b3, then I'm looking to put my bishop on f3 now, and the same exact scenario I have rook takes c2. Like, did you guys take down what I just did? Like, you need a book and a pen. All right, now wait, here, there, take, rook. Still not working. Guys, I want to play bishop f3, but I just believe that I could actually like get more. But in this scenario, I'm not seeing any, so bishop f3. Also, if you are interested, if you want like a class or so, just go to my website. Link is in my bio, and we can actually meet. But here we're just again understanding the power of activity. If you guys want to master the mindset, just let me know. So we're going forward, and let us see how my opponent responds. What is he planning to do? I mean, I could have played bishop f3 from like way out, but the fact that I took some time, played pawn to b3, forcing myself to see a better move, and then taking him out of his misery. Because this bishop thought I forgot about him, right? My opponent maybe thought that, with all of his like uncoordinated pieces, he would have like escaped. But he's now realizing that what he's actually playing for is to resign faster. So bishop to f3. And I'm wondering if I should actually just take with the queen and just make my life easier. Or take with the rook and look for checkmate in that scenario. So this, I'm assuming he's just gonna like move his queen somewhere. I take here and then just like doubling up on the second rank. I don't see how is he coming out of that one. This one pawn move, pawn to b3, is absolute dynamite. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if he just resigns. Like, this move is so strong, and it looks painful as well. So he now has 3 minutes and 58 seconds, and I expect all of his time to be burnt off right now. Like this, you cannot escape this. I utilize my pawns for my pieces. He did the opposite. He utilized, like, he's pushing the g pawn and stuff. His rook isn't active. Remember, I look at the pawn terms as like, which piece is my opponent trying to activate? Alright? This is like the easiest decision of my life, I think. You can either take the bishop, like all he has is this, or I can push pass, and we have the same exact position. Like, all we're checking is, what piece is this guy trying to activate? f6. Like, it doesn't require any work, just skill, just knowledge. You just push f6 and his time burns again, guys. Like, nothing has changed in the position other than the fact that he has pushed g6 and I have pushed f6. So for guys like, like if it was like a classical tournament, then I could actually like take some time to mess up the position. But here, super simple. Super simple, guys. f6. Remember, I say this a lot. There's no need to overcomplicate when you can just keep it simple. Alright? f6. And this is again how you win games more consistently. So he now goes queen to f2. Rook takes here is just good. Like, it's trading a pair of rooks off the board. Why would I not do this? So rook takes, queen h4 is what I'm expecting. Could I actually play this? I'm just again double checking my options, guys. Like, it's always good to just check. Like, there's no harm done with checking. In other words, like, remember also when somebody attacks you, your first instinct must not be to run away. So in other words, if he takes, I can actually take his rook. So he's not really threatening to take that bishop. I just want you guys to like just see the chessboard differently. Like, not because he attacks your bishop means that you have to run away. Just understand that. See a good move in chess, look for a better one. So I'm looking at this. I'm just gonna play it because I'm not seeing anything better. But please note that I took some time and tried to find more. You don't want to practice automatic moves in chess. It's gonna kill your chess. So let's take it. So here, like, there's no other move except to take, so I just took it. I can't burn time all the time, but here we're now up a clean exchange, a clean piece, and yeah, it's gonna convert. he takes, I'm gonna take back. Everything seems simple enough. I like swing my rook over. Alright, so now allows. Let's just swing the rook. Oops. Let's go here. If queen f5, we just take this. This is known as a discovered attack. So pins it. I'm gonna now defend with. Do I? Okay, I don't have it. Let's just go rook h6 and defend the bishop. I'm gonna kick the queen. Play some chess. I don't like this. Now I think I have queen to here, and it's like his queen is pinned to checkmate, guys, which is crazy. And his rook can't move either. So queen to h2, so same thing. Like, for me, I've already practiced the good habits, guys. Like, I don't see pawn takes b3 immediately. I'm like, alright. Counterattack. Like, something in my opponent's half of the board. So, I can do it faster. But I was at a point in my life where I had to like just do this with like steps. I'm gonna be like, alright, this has to be played, that has to be played, and then like work it out. But eventually it just becomes you, guys. Like, you have practiced it like so much, it just becomes you. So here, check, king here, check, king there, check, king there. That's mate. Alright, let's do it, guys. See? So again, this is the obvious move. We're going for something better. So we're going for check, expecting the king to run. He could just resign, like it's done. Alright, then we're going for check. So realize I also saw the checkmate before like playing it out. Then the move that you have to find is queen to e1 check, which is stopping him from getting to this square. And the minute he goes here, then q2 d2 will indeed be checkmate. So you want to also practice again to see moves ahead of time. So ensure that you guys are turning your chess the right way. And when this guy resigns, I'm going to end the video here. You can reach out to me through my website. That's in my bio, not in my description. See you again another time, and thanks again for watching, guys.